Cal Kestis is finally here in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. We finally unlocked him the other day in his hero's journey, and boy, was it a lot of fun. If you want to see play through the event, there'll be a card in the top right-hand corner, but after unlocking Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, he was a lot of fun to play with. And the fact that his requirements are only gear 12, I hope the adoption rates are going to go even higher the next time he comes around, which who knows when that's going to be. And through our initial gameplay testing, the coolest thing that I think Jedi Knight Cal Kestis is doing is because of all of his anti-fear mechanics and his insta-kill capabilities. She's able to take leftover Jedi, and it looks like he's going to be able to dunk on Darth Malgus, a character which has been largely unchecked in Galaxy of Heroes for the past year or so. But besides that, he's going to supercharge Jedi Master Luke Skywalker. Heck, he can even underdog Supreme Leader Kylo Ren with the help of Jedi Knight Revan. Let's just say this guy's looking really darn good. But I think we need to go into a little bit more details on what you need to know about this character. The quick pitch on this character is he feels sort of like the Jedi version of Commander Ahsoka Tano, with an insta-kill ability, which, to be honest, you don't really need it in the PvP setting. The ability to cleanse the entire team, gaining repost to make Master Luke Skywalker put some big damage on the table, buff the spells on the basic, armor shreds, dazes, and stuns, and his unique ability having some heavy anti-fear mechanics that grant damage immunity and turn meter. He's offering a ton that's going to help bolster the Jedi faction. And even so, you can use him outside of Jedi. He's fantastic with Jedi Master Luke Skywalker. The repost he gains through windmill defense makes Master Luke hit really hard, similar to like his Datacron he had way back when. He works great with Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker, Jedi Knight Revan. You've even used him with Jedi Master Kenobi, Rey teams, Bastila Shan lead. You're going to find a use for this guy. He is going to be a great tool to plug into a variety of different compositions, even before you go into territory battles where his leadership will be a little bit more useful. Regarding his stats, he might not be the fastest character on the block with a base speed of 149, but the good news is when you're in the double-bladed formation of Whirlwind Slam, he has the possibility of getting an extra 60 speed, so he can definitely be a fast character. The general strategy surrounding Jedi Knight Cal Kestis is definitely an interesting one. He is sort of like Ki-Adi-Mundi, where he's going to constantly swap stances, and the whole goal of Jedi Knight Cal Kestis is you always want to swap into a different configuration than what you currently have. He's got 3 configurations: Whirlwind Slam, which is the double-bladed stance, Windmill Defense, which is the dual-bladed stance, and Impetuous Assault, which is the cross-guard stance, reminiscing your time playing with him in Jedi Survivor. When Cal Kestis has a turn, he can only use his basic. When he does the basic, he gets the bonus turn. And then you have the choice: Whirlwind Slam, Windmill Defense when you're starting to play. Depending on the battle you're in and the team composition, it's going to depend what you're going to start off in. Whatever stance you start off with, whether it's the double-bladed or the dual-wield stance, the overall goal is you need to keep moving. You need to keep swapping stances. Reason number 1 is if you keep going into the same stance, he's not going to get nearly as many stacks of Impetuous, and he's not going to regain the effects that the ability grants, so he needs to keep exiting and entering a different stance. And then ultimately, after about 4 turns, he will have 30 stacks of Impetuous, which finally unlocks his cross-guard stance in Impetuous Assault. And this is where the insta-kill comes in. It feels like by the time he gets here in about 4 turns, the battle's pretty much over, but it just speeds up the process a little bit, or helps you use those underwhelming Jedi and lets him pick up the momentum by finally insta-killing, for example, Darth Malgus. And that's pretty much the overarching strategy. Make him fast, keep going into a different stance, don't sit in the same one, so you get all those extra abilities, you get the 10 stacks of Impetuous, and then before you know it, he's ready to go, and he's going to drop an insta-kill, and things are pretty much set. Pretty much what all this means is that thanks to his Impetuous abilities, the tons of buffs that he grants, the bonus turns he grants, the dazes, the armor shreds, the stuns, the damage he brings to the table, and of course his unique ability, basically making him unstoppable. You can't ability block him, you can't fear him, you can't stun him. He makes Jedis immune to cooldown manipulation, so Darth Nihilus can't wreck him, Darth Revan's fear, Malgus's fear doesn't wreck him. And then just simply being able to get the damage immunity anytime there's fear and 60% turret is fantastic. It was great seeing Darth Malak, for example, try to use his Drain Life ability, and he can't do anything when there's damage immunity. We're gonna have to wait and see once we get into Grand Arena and all the Omicrons on Darth Malgus turns on. But just being able to beat Darth Malgus outside of a Grand Arena setting is still a massive deal. One of my favorite team compositions was just taking Bastila Shan lead, something we're not really using too much. Bastila Shan's kind of out there willy-nilly. Maybe she hops with Revan here and there. But with Bastila Shan, Cal Kestis, and I went all meanie putting in things like Jedi Knight Guardian, Kit Fistos, and stuff like that. Being able to beat Darth Malgus with something like that is a huge deal. And the fact that it seems like you might be able to do this with that degree of efficiency means you're going to be able to save Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker to keep on Jedi Master Luke, for example, and even Jedi Knight Revan, giving you that flexibility to really create as many strong Jedi teams that you need. That second thing that I really liked a ton was Jedi Master Luke Skywalker. CG said officially this character is not considered an official lifter like Commander Tano or Maul, Ben Solo, but what he's designed to be is just a great all-around Jedi, and he is going to lift, in a sense, Jedi Master Luke Skywalker, making the Kenobi battles even easier, making Jabba the Hutt very manageable to beat, things that could be a struggle for Jedi Master Luke normally, with all the buffs that he grants, the bonus turns, and being able to get Cal Kestis quickly to his insta-kill ability. The repost is really what seals the deal. CG maybe took some beats from their Datacron. The Jedi had repost, Master Luke was killing it, because he could just take all that massive damage that his leadership ability grants, because remember, that leadership ability does bonus damage equal to Jedi Master Luke's protection, a degree of it, and that's like over 80,000 damage potentially. And if you target Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, when he has repost through that windmill defense, the dual-bladed stance, he's taking that 80,000 and going straight under the protection, quickly making quick work out of all of Jedi Master Kenobi's friends, or even Jabba the Hutt's team. He makes the Lord Vader battles a lot easier too for Jedi Master Luke, with another cleanse on the team, the dazes, the stuns, the armor shreds, the insta-kills. These are all very helpful tools that ensure Jedi Master Luke Skywalker is becoming a little bit more competitive in the space of the game. The third go-to Jedi was that Jedi Knight Revan. Jedi Knight Revan, at the end game's not usually used as a lead. Generally, you keep it of Jedi Master Luke Skywalker, but you have the opportunity to use Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, and Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, in a way, is a cheaper and easier version of Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker to get, and I would argue Jedi Knight Cal Kestis is a little bit better than Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker. Surprisingly, we were able to beat things like Supreme Leader Kylo Ren without the use of Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker, or we were even able to three-man a Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, which was very impressive. And then there might be those times where you just want to plug him into a lineup. Yes, of course, there's going to be some things he can't do in a non-Jedi team, like he's not going to be able to grant a bonus turn, but he can still cleanse the team. The stuff he provides on the field, the basic buff dispel, the armor shreds, the dazes, the stuns, and of course the insta-kill, because remember, the insta-kill he does himself. He just gets 4 turns in, however fast that might be, and boom, he's able to get out there and get the insta-kill. So you might be able to plug him into a variety of other lineups. If you want a character that can insta-kill, he feels like a faster version of Commander Tano outside of Jedi Master Kenobi that can get an insta-kill out there fairly fast. And for example, Rey is a great place for Jedi Knight Cal Kestis. Unfortunately, he's not an unaligned Force user, unlike his younger self, so he's going to miss out on some of those unaligned Force user bonuses, but simply granting all those buffs to the Rey team, insta-kill on a Rey team, sounds pretty scary. So whatever you're going to do with this guy, I feel like most are going to probably use him with Master Luke, Jedi Knight Revan, Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker, or maybe some leftover Jedi team. Whatever the team composition might be, definitely make sure you got some characters in there that's going to help speed up the process of getting Jedi Knight Cal Kestis out there. Jedi Knight Revan passes over a bonus turn. Jedi Master Luke Skywalker feeds turn meter when he targets Jedi Knight Cal Kestis with the leadership ability. Hermit Yoda provides turn meter on the basic. Plo Koon is pretty solid. He gives a massive amount of turn meter on his special ability. Thrawn can turn meter swap over to Cal. So there's going to be a lot of ways to make sure Cal gets out there, does his thing, keeps swapping stances, and even get to that insta-kill pretty fast. But again, I found myself not really needing the insta-kill. I felt like by the time it was time to use it, I was good to go already. In general, though, Cal Kestis just felt really dang good. It just gave me a good feeling using the guy on the field. I want to talk about the Zetas, Omicrons, and mods on this character. Jedi Knight Cal Kestis has 3 Zetas on him. I think it's pretty straightforward. Not a lot of argument in terms of which Zetas you should apply first on this guy when you finally do unlock him. Number 1, unique ability, Jedi Survivor. It just has to be the one. I've been saying throughout this video, it takes him about 4 turns to hit his insta-kill. The unique ability of Jedi Survivor gives Cal Kestis the extra 5 stacks of Impetuous when he's constantly switching over his stances. So without this unique ability, I would say the chance of getting the insta-kill off in a PvP setting are probably very minimal then. You're basically doubling the time needed to get to the insta-kill. So the Zeta takes it from a possible 8 turns to 4 turns. Kind of a big deal. And remember too, Impetuous isn't just the ramp up to get to the insta-kill and unlock the 3rd stance. Impetuous also provides a variety of other bonuses throughout the battle. Then the no-brainer second Zeta has to be Impetuous Assault itself. This provides the insta-kill. That's it. It just provides the insta-kill. Don't you want that? That's kind of the big thing that you work up to. The good thing about Jedi Knight Cal Kestis is there's going to be nothing at this point to really stop you from targeting someone that you want, except maybe stealth, because when he does his basic ability, he gets a bonus turn, and during that bonus turn, when you're picking what you want to do, you can ignore the target enemy that was taunting, and you can work around them. So this basically gives you free reign to insta-kill almost anyone on the field. And then the third Zeta, you could probably get away without it, but getting a bonus turn's great, but I don't want to underestimate getting a bonus turn's big. So I do recommend you apply it if you have extra Zetas, but I think the other two are necessary to really get the full bang out of Jedi Knight Cal Kestis' kit. But being able to grant the bonus turn to Jedi Knight Luke and have him do a stun, or Jedi Knight Revan do a cleanse, mark, big deal. Don't want to underestimate it, but it's definitely the third tier Zeta on this character. Regarding Omicrons, now he was really designed, pitched as a territory battle character, supposed to be a monster. We will see if that's the case. We're going to be taking on Bracca and hopefully getting to Zepha with this character finally. I have yet to apply a single territory battle Omicron. I just haven't felt the incentive of doing so. I'm much more Grand Arena than Territory Wars. This might be my first one I apply. He's got 3 Omicrons on him, and I don't think I'm going to apply all 3 Omicrons on the guy. The one, if you are interested in applying a territory battle Omicron, would be the weight of the galaxy. Before the Omicron, there's not much to talk about, which is why we didn't really talk too much about Jedi Knight Cal Kestis' lead. It's a very budget version of Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker. You're likely not going to use this lead too often. But once you drop on that Omicron, things get a little bit interesting. At the start of the battle, it says allies. It doesn't even specify just Jedi. So this seems to be a catch-all lead with their dark side, light side, and that's kind of something worth its weight. You might be able to form a brand new team with just leftover stuff. Allies are going to gain 100% max health and max protection and 300% of Jedi Knight Cal Kestis' defense. That's a lot. So keeping the team durable, alive. But even furthermore, at the start of each encounter, there are usually 2 waves inside of Rise of the Empire. You get plus 25% turn, so it's kind of like a Basta Shanli where you get that big boost of turn meter right away, and even Frenzy. And with Frenzy, once someone does a special ability, everybody gets 100% turn meter. So this basically means that Jedi Knight Cal Kestis is going to be getting massive amounts of plays on the field, and I suspect his insta-kill is going to come a lot faster in territory battles than it does in the PvP setting. And then furthermore, defeated enemies can't be revived, and then stacks of Impetuous persist across encounters. So you don't have to keep rebuilding Impetuous. If you had 30 in the first wave, you're going to have 30 in the second wave. I don't know if I can really recommend the other ones right now, mainly because I don't know if you're going to get the value out of it. Unless there's going to be some sort of exclusive character that Cal Kestis needed. Whatever the case might be, I'm not sure if I can recommend the Impetuous Assault, Whirlwind Slam, because Omicrons are very hard to come by. You really want to do something that parts the seas. I don't see them as sea parting. They're good, I'm sure, but is it worth an Omicron when you'd rather be placing things inside a Grand Arena Territory Wars? That's the question. I just don't know if I can go that distance. But you know what? I love this character so much. I had so much fun with him. I'm going to apply at least 1 Omicron because I want to use this guy. This is the character I don't want to place on defense. I want to use him on offense because he's so fun to use. I'm going to do it right here, right now. I'm going to apply my first territory battle Omicrons. I'm going to throw it on that lead. We're going to see how it looks like. So let's do it. 3, 2, 1. Hope I don't regret it. Boom! There you go. First territory battle Omicron, y'all. The good thing about it, Rise of the Empire is going to be here for a long time, so I assume this will be great. If I can use him with some leftover characters, that's great. I want to talk about mods lastly. I think there are 2 legitimate ways to mod Cal Kestis, but I think the more prominent way to go about him right now is think of Commander Ahsoka Tano. With Commander Ahsoka Tano, ideally, you want her to be as fast as possible, and you want to make sure she's got as much offense as she can. So with Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, especially since you want him to be fast, you want him to keep swapping stances every time he gets a turn, and you want him to get to that insta-kill as fast as possible, speed sets are seeming to be like a go-to, especially with his lower than usual base speed, but it does ramp up. He's going to be plenty fast throughout the battle eventually. And the other set, I would actually recommend a potency set. Since he applies stuns and days that are resistible, you might want to have that potency set on him. So especially up against Darth Malgus, you want to make sure you land that daze so they don't get turn meter or they can't counterattack. Critical chance, health set could also be reasonable, but I think potency might be the leading mod here. And then in terms of secondary stats, that's when I would really try to target the offense on this guy. Offense on the triangle, offense on the cross, where you can. He's got some really good offensive stats. When you do mod him for full offense, he's easily over 10,000 physical offense, which is pretty darn solid. And he also has really good critical chance. So the other way to mod him, if you want, I can definitely see, especially maybe in territory battle, since he's going to have frenzy, turn meter, you might not need the speed, and you might rather have offense. So you might want to mod him for territory battles like a Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker. walker. Lots of offense, not much concern for speed. I just want to say before we wrap this video that I had an absolute blast of a time. He was a pleasure to play with. Even in the first few battles where I had no idea what I was doing, it just felt good that without even really understanding the kit right away, he was just feeling good and doing great stuff. And once you finally understand, you got to keep swapping stances as fast as possible every single time he gets a turn, and you know what stance to be in at the right time. This guy feels brilliant. I'd say the only thing I'm really not happy about is that his omicrons are territory battle specific. I would have loved it was for Grand Arena, even heck territory wars, but that's just me. I have more of a bias towards those game modes. I think he's gonna be plenty usable inside of territory battles. Without the omicron, plug him in a Jedi team, you're good to go. The event felt good. It felt like CG put a good amount of effort in there, and the character that gets born out of the event is gonna surely put a smile on your face, and I'm happy that there's no relic requirement to get this guy. I'm hoping they don't take too long, like the Grand Inquisitor, to bring him back. I suspect we might see this guy again sometime in September, October at the earliest. Boy, do I love this guy. Easily a 5-star character in my book. The versatility and the smiles per mile this guy brings is really darn high. Thank you so much for watching today's video. And on top of that, I want to thank everyone who came out to the live stream the other day when we unlocked and tested them. You guys are absolutely fantastic, and an absolute privilege to be able to say I can hang out with all you guys, and the time you give with me is truly something I value. And it always makes me want to say how it's great to be in the Empire today.
The sun never sets. We dominate.